A few moments later.
We are back. This is part two. I'm driving in a car,
Oh,
and
well, while
I'm
you're
not touching it.
driving,
It's not illegal. It's not illegal.
it's not. While you're driving, let's give a shout out, shall we?
Let's do the shout out.
All right. Hello out there to Sherry, Star, and Tara. Love you, ladies.
That's the core group. It's Maddie and the ladies.
That is the fam.
It's like Charlie's Angels, but there's more angels.
Yeah, it's like Maddie's Angels.
Maddie's
Oh.
Angels, and the angels are beautiful, and then there's just me.
Oh, whatever.
There's me.
Oh my gosh. All
Just
right.
side topic, just for fun now. Uh, Samoan. Have you seen these dogs? The Samoans?
No. Well,
They're like giant white Q-tip
yes.
Pomeranians.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
I was trying to sell Jenna one of those the other day.
Uh-huh.
Oh, we don't have enough space.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get a ranch so I can just have dogs.
Well, speaking of pets, how's Teresa?
Nixie?
Oh, have we changed the name?
No, Jen named her Nixie. So it's okay. So Nixie Teresa is a what is she? She's an Australian bearded dragon.
So
And she just shed. She's huge. She's pretty big now. She's like at least a foot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she's gonna get way bigger. She's gonna weigh like Jen says she's gonna weigh like 5 pounds. I don't know. It's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
In fact, I gotta go home and clean up her poop for a second there.
Oh.
And no, she's really cool. She's like a tiny dog.
So Jen never let you keep the name, huh?
Teresa?
Yeah.
Well, I just stopped calling her that because it was just easier to. But yeah, that's the whole story behind that. If people at home are like, "What the heck?" is she came home with this lizard, and I was like, "Oh, Teresa," because she said it was a girl, but we still don't know. It turns out that bearded dragons are androgynous. Like the male can change and lay eggs,
Oh, wow.
and the male will lay more eggs than the female, which is the whole thing's bizarre.
Yeah.
And this is who's running our government.
It's so true. It's so true.
You know, that is let's just diving back quickly into geopolitics for half a second. It's you know, I mean, oops, the radio's on. It's we talk about geopolitics all the time, and like, oh, these guys are doing this, and this particular party's doing that, and this other party is like getting into power, and all this stuff's going on. But really, behind the scenes, it's these other like demons and devils and like creatures that are running everything, that are like, they have access to outside the veil or outside time, outside the flow of time.
Yep.
And they can see things that we can't see, and all these different things, and that's how they're able to keep control, because they have the access to see the probabilities or the outcomes of the future, or even the future itself. They have all that. So
Well, and that's kind of my whole point with people that don't want to believe in the Q movement. It's like, we can believe that reptilians are overlords of our lives, but we can't believe that Trump might have realized how to do time travel.
yeah,
You
no, you're right. You're right. I mean, the biggest thing is the connection between the real life Tesla, if he was alive,
Mm-hmm.
because it also could have been an operation of getting the old world technology, right? It could have been codenamed Tesla. It could have been an operation. I'm just saying. But there's no denying that even Google will tell you the person that all the paperwork went to, at least from Tesla, went to John G. Trump, which is what is that Trump's uncle. So
Exactly.
there's a lot of connections. We're just trying to understand if it's for the better of humanity or if it's, the final nail in the coffin, I suppose.
Well,
But
you know me and my hopium. I say
yeah,
it's better of humanity all the way.
I like it. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Well, okay, here's the thing though, the prophecy of the Gog and Magog thing, right? So I think we know the who's the group X is the Gog and Magog system, and I think the reason that they call it Gog and Magog is that it's the group X or the Gog group, whereas the Magog group is the group that's really behind them. They're the ones in the dark, in the shadows. And I think the Magog group is like the world of, I guess, the cryptids. Now, I don't want to throw all these cryptids under the bus, but the world of the shadowy beings that are trying to take over humanity for the negative.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's so between the two of them, you got the human GOG group, which is the group X or whatever, the group that always seems to be at the bottom of all the swamp everywhere in every story, and then you got the Magog group who are giving him all the information and giving him their marching orders, if you will, and have made contact with him a long time ago. But so my problem is, I don't have a problem, but I'm just what I'm looking at is in the Bible, it says that this Gog and Magog will deceive the nations, and I believe the nations are the countries and the races, because a race creates a nation. So all these nations of all, and including all the races of the world, all the governments of the world, if you will, to surround Jesus in the camp of the saints, and it's crazy because the camp of the saints and Jesus, if we start going to this millennial reign stuff and the Satan's little season stuff, everything seems to point to the North Pole.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the opposite of that is maybe the ice wall or the South Pole. And there seems to be a lot of really kind of Illuminati factions going down there. All the world leaders went down there. So this is the opposite. So I don't know what's going on. Is there a war brewing with the nations of the world? And they're going to surround these lands of the north. And this is and in the Bible, it says that Jesus will rain down fire upon these nations because they got tricked into it by Gog and Magog.
Right.
So that's really what I mean. Or is it, and then I like to think of it this way, or is it that the Jesus kingdom system is infiltrating the Gog and Magog system and allowing them to do all this stuff to go to the very precipice, and then they go, I tricked you, flip a switch, and then it's basically we own all your systems, and the Jesus system is now overrides everything.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the kind of weird shit that plays in my head because it's clearly the the level of control is ramping up. All countries are being like put into line. All the ducks are being put into a row here. So what's it all for, you wonder?
Yeah. I think it's they are having to show their hand.
Um, because what do you mean they have to show their hand? They're showing what their plans. I'm like falling over here. They have to.
Well, I don't know how. Yeah, I mean, you know me. My one liner is the capitulation tour, and again, I just feel like that was probably the biggest move Trump did do was going into each country and doing the unthinkable in each country. I mean, that alone itself, being able to walk in front of the Queen, no one's ever done that.
Walking into North Korea,
Or walking into the Forbidden City, no one's ever done
touching the sword
that.
or holding the sword with the sword dance.
Holding the sword in the sword dance, being part of the sword dance. No one's ever done that.
He even did stuff into Israel that they didn't want.
Exactly.
Moved the
So
I forget what it is.
I firmly believe that it's all it's there. So that's the showing of their hands. So now every country is being spotlighted in which side they're on. And Trump is 5D chessing it and saying, okay, show your hand now. Where do you stand? Because the world sees you. Finally, you can't do it in the shadows anymore. You have to do it where we can see you. So go ahead and do it. I think
Well,
what it is.
okay.
I think that's what all the trolling and everything is he's calling them out, and then they're showing exactly where they stand. It's beautiful.
Well, what's concerning though is though that he is completely surrounding himself by Group X, the GOG people,
Well,
and and he's also pardoned quite a few of them for some pretty serious crimes,
right.
and that's concerning. And then the whole thing with Argentina right now with the fires, and and they passed some laws now that if land got burned, that foreigners could take over, but specifically the Group X foreigners who have already started, like, NGOs and different societies down there, uh, just like ready to take over, ready to just jump in and start taking this land over. And it's already been established that the fires are totally artificial and are being caused by this Group X, or at least by agents, somebody,
Mm-hmm.
which is, I suspect, is this Group X, who is running the country, by the way. And so, and me looking at this on a geopolitical scale is, like I told you earlier, I mean, this is where uh, this is where the N group, the NZ group, right? The you know what I'm talking about,
Yes.
the Germans, they got out. The claims are, and all the stories are, that they got out, and that is like the connection is the end of Argentina right there. The connection goes down there across that giant Leviathan snake, and then into Antarctica, what they call Antarctica, and that becomes New Deutschland. And it was under this ice that they were able to get out in their submarines, at least as all the many, many, many stories go. So, like I said earlier, I think that they're trying to control these gates,
Mm-hmm.
but just the burning of the land just really saddens me. I don't know. I don't know if that's good or bad. Or, war's not great. I don't know what's going on. All I can just do is look back and point it out that it is happening.
Well, and I think a lot of people, the reason they're it's hard to align this as we're watching a movie because we see the death and destruction. But I also think it was a very important thing to realize that while we are watching a movie, it's real time movie, and there will be unfortunately casualties to all wars. But I mean, bigger picture though, this isn't some minute, little journey we're all on. This is literally like taking the power and giving it back to the people, which has never happened. And if a few people, unfortunately, heaven forbid, people, I mean, pass in the process, I hate to hear that, but that's unfortunately, casualties of war. I hate that. I wish nobody got hurt during this, but you know what I mean? Like
It,
if it's real,
yeah.
we're unfortunately going to have loss because
Well, in the
of
case of
such bad. I mean, we're up against terrible, terrible people, satanic, just horrible people. So yeah, yeah, that's my 2 cents.
yeah, well, I mean, I'm also not convinced that the human side, even if it's the positive side, aren't committing atrocious crimes too. Because, I mean, let's just take the example of Argentina with the fires. I mean, it's the land and the citizens of Argentina and the animals that are suffering there in this
Right.
particular instance.
Yeah,
And that just really upsets me.
that's awful. No, I agree with that.
I hate that part, but I don't know. It's just crazy right now. It's
Crazy world we live in.
I guess, we were told a long time ago, just stay neutral and just sort of, we're supposed to see and watch everything, I guess. I don't know.
And I know that it looks like Trump is infiltrated by Israel and the Who's, but
Yeah.
Honestly, there's a reason why Q, one of his last posts were saving Israel for last. So whether that be that he gets so infiltrated that he 5D chesses all of them that has infiltrated him to spotlight, or if he goes down with them, because we were never ever to follow him as an idol or anything
Well,
like that. So
yeah. Well, there's another option too that we sort of touched on, and the fact that, I mean, are we to believe that there's, I guess, factions of Group X that don't want the negative,
right.
and maybe are like have flipped, I guess is the term, and they've flipped, and then now they're being used, or they've joined forces and working against the dark, I guess you could say.
Well, and
I mean, I guess that's another option. I mean, I hate to put that out there. Not that I hate to put that out there. It's just that, like, oh, that's some serious, like, speculation, hopium there. But you have to consider it. It has to be considered.
you have to consider it. And here's the thing. We all of us Anons out there have been doing this now for how many years, right? A decade?
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and how extensive some of us wonderful researchers have gotten over the years. I mean, we have found stuff that no one's ever been able to find, right? So can you,
Yeah, between all of us, yeah.
and here we are, just digital keyboard warriors, just Anons from home doing our due diligence of research and finding all of this. Can you imagine not having the Q clearance, not having the top level anything? We have found out what we have found out. So can you imagine what we don't even know yet?
Well, so Q could be a psyop, but I mean, it is a psyop. I just mean it could be a negative, like a dead end, but I don't think so, because there were, like, what do they call them? Deltas, where
Yep.
they said something, and then, like, years later on the day, on the very hour of the minute, then specific things happen.
And it's still true, and it's even picking up speed in 2026, like literally. I think a lot of what people matched back years ago and thought it was happening in 2020, I firmly believe that now all the drops and all of that is going to happen this year.
Yeah, and there's a lot of affirmations and confirmations from the Trump administration that they're Q, and Trump's Q plus and all that kind of stuff. And then the pen and the watch, and a lot of these photographs can only be taken from Air Force One, or from, like, super inside connection, there. And so that's undeniable, even though nobody touches on that anymore, because the way everything's going now is just like, okay, story comes out, everybody just jumps on it, tears it apart. Now the story comes out, everybody jumps on it, tears it apart. And we just, 3 stories later, I can't even remember the first story, because we're just deep diving, like, every single thing. So stories that have happened, like, with the Q and the whole thing, all that stuff happened, years ago now, and it's just like it's on the back burner for a lot of us,
But
especially guys like me, are just constantly eating up brand new, like, news cycles.
and you're making a great point that I think where most people are right now. Everything is coming out so fast every day.
Yeah,
I mean, just boom, 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 that most humans can't keep up with it. They'll forget what they heard 3 days ago. And I think it's all by design, because I
yeah,
firmly believe we are in the season of soft class. This is where they show everything to us, and they're doing it fast because, and the reason they're doing it so fast is because if they gave it to us, if they spoon fed us this information, we would have rioting, we would have civil war already. But because it's happening so fast, think about it. Okay, these protesters who are getting paid, how fast can you get from city to city to city to city? Because yesterday you were in Venezuela, now you're in New York, tomorrow you're going to be in Chicago, the next day you got to go to California. Like, I think it's, you know what I mean though? And they're all, holy shit, I can't keep up anymore. No, you can't.
yeah. Well, it was always predicted there's gonna be a day where you cannot keep up. I'm still looking forward to that. It's getting there.
Oh shit. I can't.
It's getting there. But there's going to be a day where like we will not like dudes at the top of their game. You know, not that we are. You are more than I am. We're pretty at the top of the game. But it's even people like us and beyond us cannot and won't be able to keep up at all.
Oh, at the end of this, even our minds are going to be blown. Like,
It's gonna be ticking it off, ticking it off, ticking it
yeah.
off. Well,
I think
um,
such a great show. We are at 21 minutes, so
oh, okay.
50 altogether.
All right, let's kind of close it down. I gotta. No, I don't. We don't have to close it down. I was just, 30 minutes seems fine. Two episodes.
Yeah.
What do
50.
you think of that?
Well, it'd be 50.
I've got notes. I was gonna. Well, go ahead. Sorry, you go ahead. Talk.
Oh, I was just saying we're up to 50 minutes total with both, so whatever.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I was just gonna read you this thing that I wrote that I just found on Facebook that I wrote a long time ago. It says, I wrote this. We are made of magic. We are magic. The very act of lifting your arm is a form of telekinesis. Let that sink in. Our body is made up of bacteria, cells, and space, and bugs. What makes the baby grow inside its mother while even still the mother is aging and dying? So the baby's growing, but the mother is aging and dying, right? That's and they want us to be tough and thug-like, to war and wage war, to be a savage, to practice this upon and amongst and against ourselves. Turn away from this. Become kind. Become gentle. Become wonder. Become the child we were sent here to be. Relax. Relax a little bit more. Breathe deep. Everything breathes. Become your success. Have the laugh. Have the peace. Have the joy. Smile. That is enlightenment. It's so difficult / easy. It's so gay.
You're speaking my language on all of that. The kind
I know. I knew you'd love that, but it's so gay. But
it's
I
not.
did see that the other day, and I was like, oh, okay.
I think that's awesome that you wrote it. That shows what kind of soul you have, and I think it's amazing. I'm glad you wrote
Gay.
what.
No, I'm joking.
What?
The funniest thing is, I meant to text that to the group,
Yeah.
and I texted it to my friend Matt,
Mm.
and I was like looking in the group. I'm like, hey, where'd my text go? And I go, oh no, he's gonna give me so much crap.
Aw.
And he did, and he was like, hey, that was pretty beautiful.
See?
Isn't that hilarious?
And it's so true. I mean, at the end of the day, if we all lived through kindness, I mean, lived like Jesus, that's what they say, right? But hey, you know what?
Well, that's what Jesus says.
On that note, I think we should close it out because that was a great way to end things.
Oh, you think so?
Yep, absolutely.
All right.
So
Well,
live through your heart's world and keep towing that line. The best is yet to come, whether Maddie believes it or not.
all right, I have one last thing. I'm always the one. I'm like Columbo. Oh, one more thing.
He is, but it's cool.
All right, so here is the letter from the King of Spain. I'll just read it. You can go on my thing and find it. But he says, now this is 1527 through 1588. No, what?
Huh, there's that
That's
88
weird.
again.
1588, really? Well, anyway, Philip II of Spain, he says, okay, hang on now. He says, here he goes. He says, God, he won't stop talking. Well, I gotta try to find it. Oh, okay, here we go. Zelturi. I don't know who that is. Oh, Zelturi's map was probably the inspiration behind the expedition of Lorenzo Ferrer of Maldonado. Okay, I'm wrecking this. I'm not a Spaniard. Who discovered, okay, it's hard to read this. Sorry, guys. Who discovered the Straits in 1588.
Huh.
What?
Huh.
Maldonado was greatly concerned with the security hazard that such an easy path to Panama could pose to Spain's assets in the Americas. The Strait of Anion is 15 leagues. This is a sailor talk, right? Oceanese. 15 leagues and can easily be freed in a tide of 6 hours, and those tides are very rapid. He commented in 1588 letter to Philip II of Spain. Oh, okay, so this is a letter to the King of Spain. Several decades later, Ben Israel. Oh God, that's the name. Several decades later, Ben Israel commented that among the miracles the blessed be, he did with 10 tribes. He also created this strait, Strait, known as the Strait of Onion, so they can remain separated and hidden from the nations. What? And so what I wrote on that was an actual letter from the King of Spain confirming the mythical Strait of Anion, the easternmost boundary of the Tierra de Eso, or Land of Jesus in Latin, which I believe is actually the westernmost shore of what we call Greenland, because it goes all the way over to the Bering Strait, over the top of the North Pole.
Well, and what's
The
been
continent of Greenland, or the island at the top of the world, like the early Disney movie showed us, the land of Jesus.
and
Then I show a map.
and what country's been in the news lately with Trump?
It's crazy.
Is it?
Why Greenland all of a sudden?
Huh.
And before I go, I was just gonna say, I wrote it down here. Let me just
All right.
get my note.
While you're looking, I just got to say this with
Okay.
our conversation today. How many coincidences have we discussed forgetting that they're all mathematically impossible? Like legit.
With the 88.
Everything. Even
Yeah.
talking about
Well, we've been sinking like the last 24 hours for sure.
well, and even what we're talking about right now. How coincidental that all of the land of Jesus things are coming out in conversation. Trump's now looking at Greenland. Like, come on.
Yeah, I want you to trip on this. So we've already talked about the international date line, or as Madeline calls it from Leaving Babylon, she calls it the international gate line. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what is Jesus? He's the Alpha and the Omega, right?
Yep.
And that's the beginning and the end, right?
Yep.
And so where does the sun start? The day starts in the easternmost side of the international date line, and then Japan is called what? The rising land of the rising sun. So it starts on the easternmost side of the international date line, goes all the way around, comes and ends on the so it's the beginning and the end of the sun cycle day, right? And then if you look at that whole thing, it ends up being 3 hours of missing time, which is exactly where this land would be. And 3 hours of missing time is 3 time zones, which is roughly about 3,000 miles. And that's roughly how big this piece of land is that could connect all the way over to the top of the North Pole back into Greenland. It's a continent. And so what else is looking east and looking west? Janus. And what is a town in Alaska? Is called Juneau. And Juno and Janus. And Juno is the same god as Janus, but in like Greek versus Roman. And who's attributed to mapping out all this stuff earlier on is the Greeks. I didn't know that. Like, what?
Wow.
And so, and then there's other weird stuff. All these islands are called like St. Peter, St. Paul. If you go farther back on all the maps are named after saints or some sort of like Bethel, or they're all named after biblical like points on the map.
Yeah.
There could be no coincidence that's going on. I mean, that's bizarre.
There's no coincidence to that.
And then you add in this weird Crimean War thing where we all thought the Crimean War was over in the Mediterranean or something like that. But you come to find out, if you look, you can just go Google this, Crimean War stories, and they will tell you that they were in the North Pacific. What?
Wow.
Yeah, it's very strange. Okay, and then the last thing, because these are my notes. This will take a second. She was talking, because I keep going back over and over her videos, and so her greatest thing of videos is this bunch of podcasts called sides of the north. So you just have to. I mean, it's hours and hours. It's probably like 8 hours of incredible documentary. So you'd have to go over there to Leaving Babylon to see that. But she does a much better job. But she's talking about the what is it, the firmament, and in the heavens are windows, the windows of heaven, or the gates of the firmament, and this is where the waters poured in the great flood, and also came up out of the deep and stuff. And you know me, like I'm pretty psychedelic, right? Like I've done a lot of things without going into into too much detail. But one of the times that I was under a psychedelic influence, they showed me through visions that the sky were portals, and I told you this story before.
Yeah.
And that they were, I could see them coming in and out of the stars. Ships or wherever I don't know what they are. They were lights would come in and then shoot back up to another star, using them as portals. We've often heard that the sun is a portal, and then after realizing all this, because like when you see visions like this, it's like a dream world, and all the information just gets downloaded instantaneously. You just know,
Yeah.
right? Like in a dream, you just know things. And so I knew all that these stars were being used as portals. They were just coming in and out, like so many times. It was like a computer almost. And then right after that, a giant rainbow in the sky from a ship, from a UFO, just flew over me. And the energy touched my heart. I told you that. Like it literally went through my chest.
That's crazy.
Like I could feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was doing Qigong at the time. That was really weird. So there is some serious weird stuff going on up and out of there. And then the last thing I wanted to say, because I'm always one more, is the dream I had the other night. And I've never had a dream about, well, not that I've never had a dream about Jesus per se, but I've never had a dream where I've prayed in the dream.
Oh, I'm glad you're going to go into this before we go.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot because we wanted to talk about this and I wanted to bring it up. So I had this random dream, and the dream started at the pee. So the dream began before the pee. So I dreamed that my friend wanted me to take the wheel, and he's a truck driver. So I was like, what? So now I'm taking the wheel and I'm driving from the passenger seat. Now I don't know what any of this means. You could just I don't know. And so I'm driving from the passenger seat and I'm like driving around cars because I don't have any control of the accelerator or the brakes, and I'm just steering around cars and like cliffs and all that, and it was wild. It was wild. You've had dreams like that, and I had no control, but I was managing it somehow. And then I had to get up and use the restroom, and then I came back and went instantaneously into a dream where I was in a house, and it was like I guess it was like a mobile home where there's like vents in the floor. So I came into this room, and this guy that seemed familiar, I don't know, I can't, at the time I knew who he was, but I can't remember now. And he was like falling through the floor through one of these vents. He was like, help. And so I came over and I also fell through the vent, and I helped him up out of the vent. And for some known reason in the dream that I can't remember now, it was decided that I shall pray over him. And
Oh,
I'm not the guy to do
oh
that.
my gosh.
I don't. This is all happening in the dream, and there was other people in the room. So I'm praying over this guy. I have my hand on his back and his chest where his heart would be, and I'm doing the dumbest prayer ever. It was like the word. I remember in the dream, I was conscious in the dream, where I was trying to make up this prayer, and I was trying to pray to Jesus, and I was doing like a semi okay job. It wasn't, and I kept thinking to myself, this is a terrible prayer. I mean, I'm stumbling over my words. I'm not doing it right. And, and I was also, this isn't going to do anything, but they kept insisting I did. So I was doing it. This guy, he turns his head away from me and exhales and I didn't see anything come out, but it was known in the dream that this spirit had come out of him.
Oh.
The negative spirit came out of his mouth through the exhale.
Oh my gosh.
And I like woke up and I was like, there's no way that just happened.
Wow.
There is no, I was the strangest, that was one of the strangest dreams I've ever had.
That's crazy.
And I don't know what to make of that.
Well, you should check out those DMT videos that I sent you on Telegram.
Because I was just about to tell you, I had a DMT this morning.
Oh my.
So when you dream, your body makes DMT,
Yeah.
your brain. So, and I've been fiddling around with this lucid dreaming. So I wake up in the middle of the night. 3 o'clock is anywhere between 1 to 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. And if you go back into like a dream, most people can't do this because they got to wake up early for work and stuff, right? Sometimes I don't have to, so I can kind of get away with this. But I've noticed that if I wake up and I go back in, I can like lucid dream through and I can feel the DMT getting dumped into my brain system.
Oh wow.
So this morning that totally happened. So what happens is you sleep, you go into sleep, but you're totally awake lucidly, like consciously. And then because of the DMT, you will start to see stuff like in a dream world. So this morning, I've been working on this for like a year now or more, but specifically about at least 6 months. So this morning was the most clearest I've ever seen it. It showed me like a screen about the size of a phone, and I couldn't zoom in on it because I was trying to zoom in on it so I could see it more, but it was like a screen, and in through the screen I could like see like a situation happening. I think this morning it was somebody was walking and there was a dog. It was basically just an outdoor scene, but it was so like perfect, it was such a perfect rendition. Like usually it's kind of like blurry, but this is really like pinpoint. It was like 4,000, or it was really like what's the term I'm looking for? The image, the clarity was incredible.
Wow.
And it went on for like 20-30 seconds, and I was like, watch, and then finally it goes away and I can't bring it back. So I don't have any control over it, but I couldn't believe what I was being shown like this morning and then yesterday's dream. So anyway, that's the
That's
end of it.
crazy. Yeah. Well, next time we're going to hit on the DMT things. Watch those videos because, wow, I want to know if any of your trips have been like that.
Well, I was thinking we could do a side podcast about all my paranormal experiences.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I don't know if people want to hear that or not, but I've got like hundreds of paranormal experiences.
I think this world is so hungry for information. I think we're going to have fans on any subject that we talk about. So,
Yeah, we could do sometimes we talk geopolitics, sometimes conspiracy, but I thought specifically you could like ask me about my crazy paranormal experiences I've had, because I think I've had more than the average bear. I think there's I have
yeah,
them on.
I think
There was a time where it was happening like every moment of every day almost.
yeah, we should definitely get your stories on video.
Okay. Well, let's shut it down. That's been a great podcast. We sure do appreciate you being here, everybody.
Yes, we do. Thanks for coming, guys.
And we'll see you on the next one. So this has been part 2, and Maddie and JoJo out.
Bye, world. We love you to the moon.